It's a rattlesnake rumble. G'day, wildlife warriors, and welcome back to the channel. It's your mate Daniel here, and crikey, have we got a beauty of a showdown for you today? We're diving headfirst into the world of some of America's most misunderstood but absolutely magnificent reptiles. We're talking about rattlesnakes. But not just any rattlesnakes, oh no. We're pitting two states against each other in a reptilian rumble. The chilly forests of Michigan versus the vast sun-scorched lands of Texas. You might be thinking, a rattlesnake's a rattlesnake, right? Well, let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. These animals are incredibly adapted to their homes, and the differences are absolutely fascinating. Today, we're going on a proper adventure, a deep dive into what makes these critters tick. We're going to uncover 8 dangerously interesting facts that separate these two populations. We'll be looking at everything from their size and the potency of their venom, a real nail-biter, that one, to what they're having for dinner, and the specific neighborhoods they call home. It's a classic North versus South battle, but with scales and fangs. You'll see just how different a Michigan Massasauga is from a Texas Western Diamondback. It's a tale of two very different serpents, each a master of its own domain. So grab your hat, make sure you're sitting comfortably, and get ready to be amazed. By the end of this, you'll not only be able to tell these incredible snakes apart, but you'll have a brand new appreciation for just how unique and vital they are to their ecosystems. We're going to get up close and personal, learning all about their behavior, where you might find them, and what we can do to help protect these beautiful animals for generations to come. Let's get into it. All right, let's meet our contenders. First up, representing the great state of Michigan, we have a very special, very unique little battler, the Eastern Massasauga rattlesnake. Now, this isn't your typical desert-dwelling rattler. The Massasauga, or Cistrurus catenatus for you scientific-minded folks, is Michigan's one and only venomous snake. He's a bit of a recluse, a shy little guy who prefers the wetlands and marshy prairies of the Great Lakes region. He's not looking for trouble, just a quiet spot to find a mouse and soak up a bit of sun. What a beauty. He's a crucial part of his environment, a true survivor of the North. Now let's head south to the massive state of Texas. Crikey, talk about being spoiled for choice. Texas isn't just bringing one snake to this showdown, it's bringing a whole posse. The Lone Star State is home to a whopping 10 different species of rattlesnakes. The most famous, the big kahuna of the bunch, is the Western Diamondback, Crotalus atrox. This is the snake most people picture when they think rattlesnake. But Texas also has the timber rattlesnake, the mottled rock rattlesnake, the black-tailed rattlesnake, and even the Mojave with its legendary venom. It's a rattlesnake paradise down there, a real hotspot of biodiversity, each species perfectly carved by nature for its specific corner of that vast state. Now for the question on everyone's mind, how dangerous are they? Let's talk venom. The Eastern Massasauga in Michigan has a cytotoxic venom. Whoa, big word. It basically means it's a tissue-destroying venom. A bite from this little fella is serious business, no doubt about it. It causes intense pain, swelling, and can lead to tissue death around the bite area. However, the Massasauga is a relatively small snake with smaller fangs and a lower venom yield compared to its big southern cousins. While a bite is a medical emergency and needs immediate attention, fatalities are incredibly rare. It's more of a localized threat, a powerful punch from a lightweight contender. But then you look at Texas. With so many species, you get a whole cocktail of venom types. The big boy, the Western Diamondback, has a powerful venom that's a mix of cytotoxins, myotoxins, and hemotoxins. It doesn't just destroy tissue, it attacks your blood and muscles too. It delivers a huge amount of this venom in a single bite. And then you have the legendary Mojave rattlesnake found in West Texas. Its venom has a potent neurotoxin, which is the scary stuff, mate. It attacks the nervous system, potentially leading to respiratory failure. So, while any rattlesnake bite is deadly serious, the sheer variety and power packed by the Texas lineup, especially the Diamondback and Mojave, puts them in a different league of danger. When you put these snakes side by side, you can really see the difference in their lifestyles just by their size. The Eastern Massasauga from Michigan is what you'd call a modest-sized snake. A fully grown adult will typically measure between 2 to 3 feet long, that's about 60 to 90 centimeters. They're a bit on the stocky side, a thick-bodied little unit, but they're not winning any length contests. Their smaller size is perfect for navigating the dense undergrowth of their wetland homes, allowing them to be stealthy hunters in a cluttered environment. They're built for efficiency, not for intimidation. A perfectly compact little predator. Now, let's look at the Texas heavyweight champion, the Western Diamondback. This is a different beast altogether. These guys are big, bold, and beautiful. A typical adult diamondback can easily reach 4 to 5 feet in length, and some absolute giants have been recorded at over 7 feet long. That's taller than me. They are thick, powerful snakes built like absolute tanks. This incredible size allows them to take on much larger prey and makes them a far more formidable presence in the open, arid landscapes of Texas. When a big diamondback coils up and rattles, its sheer size is a massive part of its defensive display. There's no mistaking it. This is a big snake that demands big respect. A snake's diet tells you everything about its world. Up in Michigan, the eastern Massasauga is a bit of a specialist. Living in those damp, marshy areas, its main source of tucker is small mammals. We're talking about voles, shrews, and mice, all the little critters scurrying through the wetland grasses. They are ambush predators using their fantastic camouflage to lie perfectly still, waiting for an unsuspecting meal to wander by. Occasionally, they might take a small bird or even another snake, but their bread and butter, or rather their mouse and vole, are those small, warm-blooded animals. They are the top predator for the small critter community in their habitat. Down in Texas, with bigger snakes in a different environment, the menu gets a whole lot bigger. The Western Diamondback has a much broader palate. Sure, they'll eat mice and rats, but with their larger size, they can take on much more substantial prey. We're talking about full-grown cottontail rabbits, ground squirrels, and even large birds. They are opportunistic hunters and will eat just about anything they can overpower and swallow. I've even heard of them taking small prairie dogs. This varied diet is one of the reasons they are so successful across the vast and varied landscapes of Texas. They aren't picky eaters. They're survivors who will make a meal out of whatever the harsh Texas environment provides. You couldn't pick 2 more different homes if you tried. The eastern Massasauga is a true northerner, adapted for a life with 4 distinct seasons, including some seriously cold winters. Their prime real estate is in wetlands. We're talking about marshes, fens, and damp, low-lying grasslands, often near rivers or lakes. They need these specific habitats for everything: for hunting their prey, for basking in the sun to regulate their temperature, and most importantly, for hibernation. In the winter, they'll find shelter deep underground in places like crayfish burrows or old root systems to escape the freezing temperatures. Their entire life cycle is tied to these precious and increasingly rare wetland habitats. Texas, on the other hand, is a massive patchwork of different environments, and its rattlesnakes have adapted to nearly all of them. The Western Diamondback is the king of the arid and semi-arid lands. You'll find this beauty in the classic Texan landscape: rocky canyons, sun-baked deserts with scrubby bushes and dry grasslands. They love hiding out in rock crevices, animal burrows, or under clumps of prickly pear cactus to escape the scorching midday sun. But other Texas rattlers have their own preferences. The timber rattlesnake prefers the forests in East Texas, while the rock rattlesnake is a master of camouflage in the mountainous, rocky outcrops of the West. Texas offers a smorgasbord of habitats, and there's a rattlesnake species that calls each one home. Now let's talk personality. How do these snakes behave when they encounter a potential threat, like, a big clumsy human? The eastern Massasauga from Michigan is, by and large, a very shy and retiring snake. Its first, second, and third lines of defense are to not be seen at all. Their camouflage is their superpower, and they will just lie perfectly still, hoping you'll walk on by. If they are discovered, they'll often try to slither away quietly into the undergrowth. They are reluctant to rattle and even more reluctant to strike. A bite is an absolute last resort, used only when they feel cornered and truly threatened. They'd much rather save their energy and their precious venom for catching a meal. The Western Diamondback from Texas has a bit of a different reputation, and for good reason. It's not that they're aggressive, they're not out there looking for a fight, but they are far more defensive and confident. When a Diamondback feels threatened, it will often stand its ground. It'll coil up into that classic defensive posture, raise its head and tail high, and let loose with that loud, unmistakable buzz from its rattle. It's a clear warning. I am here, I am big, I am dangerous, and you need to back off right now. They are much more likely to hold their ground and strike defensively if the threat doesn't retreat. It's a bold, confident behavior born from being one of the top predators in a tough environment. When we look at a map, the story of these two snakes becomes crystal clear. The eastern Massasauga has a very fragmented and specific range. While it's found in other Great Lakes states, its populations in Michigan are scattered. They exist in isolated pockets where their ideal wetland habitat still remains. You won't find them in the deep forests of the Upper Peninsula or in the urban areas. They are habitat specialists, and their distribution map looks like a series of small, disconnected islands. This makes them incredibly vulnerable, as they can't easily travel between these pockets to breed and maintain genetic diversity. Their world is shrinking, and their map shows it. Texas is a whole different story. It's a superhighway of rattlesnakes. The western diamondback is found across almost the entire state, absent only from the far eastern piney woods. Its range is vast and continuous. You can find this snake from the Panhandle Plains down to the Rio Grande Valley and from the deserts of El Paso to the outskirts of Dallas, and that's just one species. When you overlay the ranges of the other 9 Texas rattlesnake species, the map is almost completely covered. From the forests to the mountains to the deserts to the coastal plains, there is a rattlesnake species that has claimed that territory. The distribution in Texas is a testament to their incredible adaptability and success. This is the most important chapter of all because it's about their future. The eastern Massasauga in Michigan is in a bit of strife, mate. It is listed as a threatened species under the Federal Endangered Species Act. This means it's at risk of becoming endangered in the near future. The biggest threat? Habitat loss. Those precious wetlands they call home are being drained for agriculture and development. On top of that, they face persecution from people who fear them and road mortality. Because their populations are so small and isolated, every single snake is critically important. It is illegal to harm or kill a Massasauga in Michigan, and there are incredible people working hard to protect their habitats and ensure this unique northern rattler survives. In Texas, the situation is a lot more complex. For the most part, rattlesnakes, especially the widespread western diamondback, have stable populations and are not considered threatened or endangered. Their vast range and adaptability mean they are doing quite well. However, this doesn't mean they're free from threats. They still face habitat loss and are often the victims of persecution, especially at organized events called rattlesnake roundups. Some of the less common Texas species, like the rock rattlesnake, may face localized threats due to their specific habitat needs. So while the overall picture in Texas is healthier, conservation is still key to ensuring all 10 species continue to thrive in the Lone Star State for good. Crikey, what an incredible journey. From the shy, retiring Massasauga in the wetlands of Michigan to the bold and brazen diamondback of the Texas desert, we've seen just how different 2 rattlesnakes can be. It's not just about venom or size. It's about their entire way of life. Their diet, their behavior, their home. Every single aspect is a masterclass in adaptation. A beautiful story of survival written by nature itself. These snakes aren't monsters to be feared. They are vital predators, crucial cogs in the machinery of their ecosystems. One is a fragile specialist fighting for survival, the other a tough-as-nails generalist, but both are absolutely magnificent. The most important takeaway from all this is respect. Whether you're hiking in Michigan or ranching in Texas, remember that you are a visitor in their home. The best way to stay safe is to be aware of your surroundings, give them plenty of space, and simply leave them be. They want nothing to do with us. By understanding these animals, we replace fear with fascination, and that is the first step towards conservation. We have a responsibility to protect these beautiful creatures and the wild places they live, ensuring they'll be around for our kids and our kids' kids to appreciate. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure, you absolute legends. If you found this rattlesnake showdown as fascinating as I did, give this video a massive thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And for more deep dives into the world's most incredible wildlife, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Stay wild, and we'll see you on the next adventure.